Okay, this is Angelique. I'm Angelique's mom, and Angelique's going to start telling you a story about her journey to be seizure-free. She has seizures now, but she's been working very hard in the last year to be seizure-free. Go for it, Ange.
Hey everyone, my name is Angelique, and welcome to my journey to be seizure-free. 2 years ago, I got these two letters from the health unit of Ontario. I had to get vaccines for school. So I was behind on my vaccines, and I got this letter because all the kids that didn't have vaccines up to date were going to be suspended from school if they didn't have them by January 31st of 2017. After a few weeks of being suspended, I finally got the vaccines.
Okay, so they gave you a wrong one. They gave you DTaP adult on March 5th, then they gave you DT polio on March 22nd, and the one that they said that you needed.
Yeah, so they only said I needed that one right there. One for meningitis. Okay, so I was sick for like a month after I got all these shots, and I had a really high fever where I was just like soaking the bed. I had to change my clothes like 3 times a day, and I had a really bad headache. I had a stiff neck. Okay, so after January 31st, I ended up being suspended from school. So for most of February, I was suspended, and then I got my first vaccine on March 5th. It's called the Adacel, that's the right name.
Right.
After 2 weeks later, I got the Imovax vaccine, and is it Menjugate?
Yeah.
And then I got the Menjugate vaccine. So because I was so sick from those vaccines, I missed like all of April of school. And then when I finally was well enough to go back to school and to work, I started seeing these like spots in my eye, in my right eye. I started seeing like 3 spots, like it makes a triangle, and I usually see this before a seizure comes on. So I was seeing those. It's like when you look at a light or like the sun or something, and then you look away and you see like just a bright spot. That's what I was seeing. So I went to the eye doctor to get that checked out, but they didn't see anything. And then I would be like sitting in class, and I would like feel this rush like in my, just like, I don't know, I would feel this rush in my body, and it would last for a few seconds, and then it would go away, and then it would come on again like 15 minutes later. I didn't know what that was, but I felt like I knew it had something to do with me being sick, I thought at the time. And then one day at work, I was working at a daycare, and I was sitting in a chair, and I said to one of my coworkers that I wasn't feeling good because all of a sudden I just felt sick to my stomach. I wasn't like answering her, so she came up to me and she asked me like what I said, but I guess I just then started falling, and she caught me. I guess I had my first seizure then. They called an ambulance, and then like I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember falling or anything. I remember them like wheeling me out of the daycare. Like I just remember like a glimpse of that, and then I remember like when I woke up in the hospital, they told me that I had a seizure. Okay, so when I was at the hospital, they tested me, like they gave me an EEG, an MRI, like all of that stuff, but they didn't find anything. They just sent me home thinking that it was due to the high fever. And then it was like 2 weeks later, I was at work and I had another seizure. So they sent me back to the hospital after I had my second seizure, and then they put me on a medication thinking that it would help me, but it didn't help my seizure. I think I ended up in the hospital a couple weeks later again. So my first medication was carbamazepine, and then that wasn't helping me. So my neurologist put me on Keppra. He said that was a good medication but that didn't help me. I ended up getting to the highest dose of it, which was 3,000, and I was still the same, like nothing changed. It would just be easier if you were in this just saying that. Like, it would just be easier, because this is all confusing. I was on carbamazepine.
Yeah, you were on carbamazepine. Your neurologist added Keppra, and it didn't matter what amount, and nothing changed. You still had 2-3 seizures every day, and then every so often you would have a grand mal seizure. So then about 6 months later, you had a grand mal seizure where you didn't come around for about 2.5 days. We were in the hospital, and you didn't know who I was. I kept asking you, who am I? And you said, I don't know. Like, for 2.5 days, you just kept telling me that you didn't know who I was. So after you did know what was going on, after you did come back around, they sent us to another hospital, to the epilepsy clinic.
This hospital's 2 hours away from where we live.
Yeah, and so they put her tethered like to the EEG machine 24/7 and was on camera, and they were reducing her medication until she would start having bad seizures again, so that it would be on video. And we did that for 2 straight weeks until we were about ready to go crazy. And then
this was like right before Christmas too.
Yeah, December 17th, wasn't it?
When we got out?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was really close.
Right. And so and nothing changed, and everything came back normal. Everything was normal. They found out that her seizures were coming from the left temporal lobe of her brain, and that's all we know from those 2 weeks. And we thought, no, we'll go home and we will start detoxing
and just doing our own thing.
You've had weeks of eating raw garlic, spirulina, wheatgrass,
lemon,
smoothies,
bentonite clay,
yeah, charcoal, oh my gosh,
coconut oil. Swish it around in your mouth.
Oil pulling, coconut oil to eat on your food. It's for your brain, but
this is my story of how my seizures started.
Yeah.
From vaccines. I try to get a lot of sleep. If I don't get enough sleep at night, I don't have a good day. Like the next day, like I have seizure after seizure. They're not like super big, but I just have a bunch like in a day if I don't get enough sleep. Yeah, so when I have a day of like 6 or 7 seizures, that's when I need an Ativan. What helps me is I try to just exercise, get enough sleep, like eat healthy. I'm on the keto diet. I walk my dog. I got a dog. To try to help my seizures. If I get like stressed out or something or nervous, that can make me have a seizure. So when I start to feel a seizure come on, I feel like the deja vu. I'll get this ringing in my ears, and then I'll feel like this tingling or like numbness in my left arm and my left leg, and I'll get this burning in my chest. I just have to stay super calm and relax, or they'll get worse if I don't. If I tense up, that's when a bad seizure can start. If I don't stay calm, and when I start to feel a bad one, like even like my little ones, like rub my neck or something, and that usually helps. This channel is really just to be about my seizures. I really believe that these seizures just are from the vaccines that I got, because before I ever got those vaccines, I was perfectly fine. I was healthy, normal, like nothing ever happened to me that would have caused me seizures. No one in my family has ever had seizures, like it doesn't run in my family. I was so sick after I got those vaccines. I honestly think that's what these seizures are from, is from the metals from the vaccines and mercury and all of that just settling in my brain. I do take like seizure medication, but it doesn't help me. Like it should be stopping my seizures or even preventing them from happening. So hopefully on my journey to be seizure free, I'll eventually cure my seizures, and all of you guys can be there with me when I do it. I hope this is my year, 2019, where I can just stop dealing with these and get off of all this medication, get on with my life, because I've had to stop everything. I was going to school, but I can't go anymore because of my seizures. I was working, I had a good job. I can't work there anymore because of my seizures. I can't drive. My license is suspended right now, and it's really like hard to find a job where they'll let me work when I have seizures. So my life is literally on hold right now. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I'll leave all my social media down below so you can follow me on that. And yeah, see you next time.